Okay, new to the Marvel Cinematic Universe, a new series on Disney Plus called Falcon and the Winter Soldier. We'll talk about the first couple of episodes after this. Hello out there, I'm the oldest nerd, and as we are looking for things to watch, a new series from Marvel, which is on Disney Plus, called Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Here we have a series that looks it's going to be very much like we have seen other Avengers and Avengers members type of movies, but as they did with WandaVision, they're telling a smaller story. And this story appears to be kind of the situation with our friend the Falcon, who is handed the shield of Captain America and intended by Captain America to take over his mantle. He felt that he was either not worthy of it or that it wasn't right or in some way, and proceeds to give it to a museum. And not long afterwards, the shield is given to someone else and made the new Captain America. And at first, we don't know if he's just some kind of actor, but it turns out that he's a super soldier. He's had special tours of duty in special ops. He's well trained as in the fighting style of Captain America and also in the public relations aspect that he's called upon. He seems to excel in all of these things. And so, of course, Sam and his sidekick Bucky are not terribly impressed with him. But it'll be put in a situation where either we're going to find out that the new Captain America is not exactly what he seems to be, or that he is and turns out to be a good guy. That's the mystery, if there is one, in this whole area. Now, the show itself and the six-part series that this is going to be around a group of people called the Flag Smashers. The Flag Smashers are a group that believes that after the blip, that things were actually okay. They were able to make their way with it, and there was kind of a uniting of people. And as the return 5 years later of the half of the world's population that had suddenly disappeared, people who were in charge took back over their old jobs and put the world back like it was beforehand. And this does not make the Flag Smashers very happy about it. They think that there should be a single world government. And while their ideas are maybe not so unreasonable, the way they deal with it, of course, is a very radical way. They seem to be chemically enhanced so that they can fight harder than most people, and so they make a worthy opponent for the Falcon in the first episode, where he has to fight them and just barely is able to get out with his life. In the meantime, his sidekick, Bucky, who for a time was Captain America's sidekick, Bucky, who by the backstory in here, he's been around for about 100 years, so he was, for one reason or other, enhanced in a way that he has an extra long life and still doesn't look much older than he did in the early days of Captain America. He had fallen out of favor with the good guys and went to work for Hydra and was an assassin for them. That kind of haunts him, and as we open up the first episode, he's in therapy trying to deal with this. He's been pardoned by the government, and he has been reinstated into some kind of active kind of role, and he chooses to link on with the Falcon, who really would rather just work alone, but thus is the beginning of a buddy cop type of genre that they're doing here. They have a tendency to bicker with each other, kind of the same way in Hawaii Five-0 between McGarrett and Danny, and a number of other examples that we could give throughout the movies where you have buddies. I'm thinking also of 48 Hours with Eddie Murphy and Nick Nolte. It was the same kind of dynamic where there is one person that pretty much knows the other, knows how to rattle their cage, and does it from time to time. As an element of exposition, it's pretty good for us, so we're able to kind of get into the feelings of the characters. Why is it that the Falcon did not want to take on the mantle of Captain America? It's not completely answered. And now this difficulty now with the new Captain America is something that has come to the forefront. In the second episode, we get a better look at Captain America. He is played by the son of Goldie Hawn and Kurt Russell. If you recall, if you've been around long enough, Goldie Hawn started up in her early 20s on Laugh-In playing a dumb blonde. She was anything but. She later was in a number of romantic comedies, and her real turning point was Private Benjamin, which was a movie that she and Eileen Brennan made into kind of a No Time for Sergeants for women, and a very funny and profitable picture for her. And ever since then, she's been, director, producer kind of person. Kurt Russell, of course, was a Disney regular in a lot of the Disney movies during the 60s. The first time we saw him in a full-length Disney picture was in Follow Me Boys, where he plays the troubled youth that becomes the adopted son of the Scoutmaster, played by Fred MacMurray in that movie. He later was in light fare like The Computer Wore Tennis Shoes, and of course his big turning point was Escape from New York, where he became kind of the action hero. So his son and Goldie's son kind of go into the same mold as this good actor, and he gives you just enough nuance here for you to wonder whose side he's really on. Is he with the Flag Smashers, or is he with all of the good guys? And does he really want to work with the Falcon, or does he want to just kind of grind his nose into the fact that the Falcon turned down Captain America's shield? That's what we're dealing with so far as we can see in this show. It's another situation very much like we had in WandaVision, where it is a character that's dealing with life after the blip and after return. We know that Falcon was blipped away during that time, comes back 5 years later. His sister is having some difficulty with the family business. Everybody seems to act like, well, you weren't here for the last 5 years. Why should we listen to what you have to say? And so his only way is in his work, which he's not exactly paid for. That's kind of an odd thing, being an Avenger, and going out and trying to solve the hard cases like they will be doing. So we know that Captain America and his guy and Falcon and his guy are going to be going after the same thing. There'll be kind of a rivalry for who gets there first. That could be rather interesting. A couple of interesting little things that came up in episode 2. They say, we're always ending up fighting androids, aliens, or wizards. In which one of the characters said, well, there's no wizards in this world. And he says, well, what about Doctor Strange? He says, well, he's a sorcerer. And the other says, well, a sorcerer is just a wizard without a hat. I thought that was a good line. Also, Red Wing, who is basically a drone that flies off of the Falcon's back. Apparently, even though it doesn't speak, it does have some kind of personality. So that's the source of some of the humor. And there's a lot of humor in this. The interaction between Bucky and Sam, and the rivalry between Sam and Captain America. So this is what we're dealing with. This is There's a lot more detail behind this, obviously, for people who have followed the comic books or have gone deeply into the Easter eggs of the previous movies. But just from a drive up and see if you would like it kind of show, I think it's entertaining. There's a lot of action. They spent a lot of money putting this show together, and it shows on the screen. So, full of action. It has some not in your lap comedy, but some funny moments, and a story that makes you kind of wonder who are the good guys and who are the bad guys. So that always leads for something good. So we'll recommend the Falcon and the Winter Soldier for your consideration on Disney Plus. Meantime, if you have not subscribed or rung the bell so you know when the next video is coming, please do that, and please leave your comments below. I always enjoy reading what your point of view is on these things. Until next time, don't go far.